He always coughs right when I say 3, 2, like 1 is his cough. And we're live. Hi, Keith, you want to go?
Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
It's Rod Morrow. Hello, Rod.
Hello. Good to see you.
Rod, of course, hosts The Black Guy Who Tips. And what's the other podcast that just rolls off the tongue?
Draptomaniacs. If you put DRAPE, it'll autofill wherever you get your podcast. And we just did the final episode, and it's so fun. It's so good. And Karen's in it. She is playing one of the characters. And you gotta hear it to believe it.
You know what? I'm gonna stop now. You hear him fucked up a little bit?
A little, a tiny bit.
Oh, uh-oh.
But
all right.
Yeah, I
it
just
wasn't
heard.
like
Yeah,
this.
I hear it more now. It just started.
A little.
All right. Should I go out and come back in or something?
Well. Yeah,
let me make sure my phone's.
And we're live, so we'll be chatting with the folks here.
All right. We'll be right back, everybody. I'm sorry.
And Keith, you didn't get the memo about the blue shirt, so
That we're wearing blue shirts today?
yes. Yeah.
I don't have blue shirt cutoffs. I do have the sexy nurse's shirt. The scrubs.
Right. Those keep you warm. Ryan V says, caught me by surprise today. Should we talk about the Middle East while we're waiting, and then I don't have to?
I got.
No, you do. I was gonna never talk about it again.
All right, we'll see what happens. Let's see. Even that's talking about it.
I know.
Even that.
And
how's everybody doing out there tonight?
Glitter Neuroses was first today.
All right, very good.
Yeah. Carrie Williams is here, and today's thing was kind of last minute. So, here comes Rod. You know, when I put on my glasses, I always put them on crooked.
Well, you're wearing headphones, so it might be a little
Yeah. I'm gonna blame.
You only have
hair.
one ear. Do people know
All
that?
right, 1, 2, mic
Did you
check.
guys notice that? Him only has
happened?
one ear. Sorry, what's that?
Oh, is it better now? How do I sound, everybody? I turned off my phone and everything. Still talking. We're live. Karen's phone is off.
You sound good. I don't know if it looked like it matched for a second. Henda?
It's slightly off sync, but my positive thinking and my want of Rod to stay is like, it's fine. So right. I can't tell if I'm being
explain the plot of Loki.
Oh man, this is so easy, right? So there's this god that he finds a Tesseract cube when he's back in 2012, even though he had already been like dispatched and killed in the regular timeline, but he finds it in 2012 and he's able to use it to become a menace. But before he can use his powers, the TVA, this time variance association, they are responsible to get people out of timeline that are going to be a problem. They fucking know he's going to be a problem, so they kidnap his ass, put him in a magical cuffs that make sure he can't use his magic powers, and then they like get him out of timeline so that he can't fuck with shit. And then all right.
No,
I think it's synced. I mean, I still don't know what Loki is, but
right.
I think you're right and I'm wrong. So we can start there.
Yeah, I think it matched. Okay. Oh, good. I'm gonna ask you about your podcast again, though. People need to know.
Yeah, and everyone have their deodorant. This is gonna get heated.
Oh hell.
Wait, Kenda, you keep talking.
To say that. So this is me in sync, like the band that I think their song Dirty Pop was, as Karen would say, a bop. And so I bopped to that on my bicycle.
I don't like any of this.
I think it's you, Keith. Get the fuck out of here.
I am gonna restart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I think you should do Hemda, maybe. Why not?
All right. I'll talk to the people on YouTube. I don't give a fuck.
Should we should both go?
How y'all doing? YouTubians?
Should I really go? Should we like pretend that I went and then we'll see if
what happens if both of y'all leave? Am I really just here and then y'all are gone and I'm talking to people on YouTube live?
Yeah, you want to try it? You'll also have you'll have the controls of the Zoom room. So if you don't want to let us back in,
Oh, well, I would always let y'all back. I can't wait to let y'all back in. Can y'all, maybe just leave one at a time. Maybe just wait till Keith comes back.
Okay, I'll wait.
I don't want any power.
Just so you know, Wayne Smith says that was actually a pretty good explanation. So I think he was talking about me, but no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think he meant when you said, I don't understand any of this is, yeah. Keith's confused by the plot. I know.
Well, you know what happens? You guys start talking about that, and I have to really, really pay attention. It's like, when people try to explain tech to people who really don't want to know, but they should be listening. It's like, oh my God, focus. It's not English, but it is. So I should be able to follow this. Just
I do that with books sometimes. Where like I'm reading and then somehow my brain goes into autopilot and I like come to a few paragraphs later and I'm like, I didn't understand any of that.
Yes. Yes. I have been reading and thinking about something else. And I'm like, holy shit, I just read like 3 pages and I have no idea what I read. I always go back.
Yeah, I always go back too. Because what the fuck? That's the whole point I'm reading.
Right. And so what I think I do is I try reading again, but most likely I'm probably not supposed to be reading right now. And so I either like can focus or just, it's time to do something else.
Yeah.
How's it sound, Keith?
It sounds okay. Does kind of look pixelated.
I didn't leave. So
not on my computer.
It's my turn now.
She's sharp and her voice is syncing up to her words on my computer.
Check 1, 2.
When's the last time you started your computer?
Today. I restart every day.
Very good. Very good.
Before the show, before I go on OMAT, restart. I did not leave here yet. But I don't know that it's me.
We stayed and bantered through your absence.
Okay, restart. Who gives a shit?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and Anna wants to know why you're not in blue. Listen, this is just the people. It's not me. I gotta go. Right. So,
do y'all have any blue sleeveless tees?
Actually, I do. It's what is it? Nylon. Cotton's really king, right? Are we allowed to say that nowadays?
I agree. Yeah. I mean, these blend shirts,
poly or whatever the fuck. The poly.
Yeah, the poly blends are pretty cool. I remember having a silk shirt. You ever had a silk shirt?
I feel like I have. Anytime I think about silk, I remember when I got scammed by that. Well, scam, but you just don't really make money. Perfume job I had, and I showed up in Long Island. I mean, I was like broke, and they go, okay, you sell this fake cologne, and I think like everything above $20, it's like $100, but it's a ripoff, and anything above $20 you can keep. And nobody was buying this. We'd go into the city, nobody would fucking buy it. Go back for a debriefing or whatever. Then I'm like, I think it was the second day, and I'm like, I really won't have, if I don't make money today, I won't have money to take the Long Island Railroad back. It's like, you do what I tell you, and you'll make money. I fucking didn't. I was trying to hawk a watch to get on the train and all this. No, everybody thought it was stolen. It was a whole fucking mess. But I remember the guy being like, saying how rich we're going to be with these fucking colognes, and they'll make a store a block away from your house because you'll be so good.
Jesus.
And goes, and everybody laughed at me. And you know what? I used to see people in silk, and I'd be like, what the fuck is that? But you know what? Silk underwear right now. Silk pajamas. Sorry, I'm that guy now. I love silk. I'm like, okay, all right. Maybe I'll love silk.
I remember having a silk shirt, and it's the worst. If it gets wet, it's over for you and that shirt forever. That's insane. Suede, same thing. It's such bullshit.
Right. Kenda, hello. You may join us. Kenda, come on now.
Hello. Would you give me back control, please?
Oh my God.
And I'm going to keep talking. How does this
I'm Israel. I would like control again. Right?
I'm trying not to just occupy it.
Hello.
Okay. I just asked you for it.
You gave me a little piece of control, and I should appreciate it.
I gave you a heads up that I will be wanting
my control. And I know what you're saying. Why doesn't my landlord give me some control?
Here's
if
some
it's
water.
So
Oh God.
I don't know what you want me to do with this. I tell jokes, Rod.
No, they're funny jokes.
Thank you.
How do I do it? Make host. All right, you're the boss.
Anna says Chemda looks good. You know, every time I have diarrhea, people think I look good.
Oh, good to know. All right. Well, we're just in time.
I like to believe that for everybody. I think it's hot. You know, if I like your Instagram post, I'm like, oh, they're probably going through a time.
You know, antibiotics. You really do have to eat with those pills.
Okay, I'm gonna vomit. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Oh, so I start.
So you're all set, right?
Oh, that's right. We're already live.
All right.
Hey, Keith.
Don't put any of this on the air. We're not friends, Keith.
Okay. Oh.
How many okays do I gotta wait for?
You just interrupted.
Quiet on the set. Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Rod Morrow is with us. Hello, Rod.
Hello. How y'all doing?
Rod, of course, does our VIP show last week on Keith and the Girl. We tell all the behind-the-scenes stuff. His favorite question being for each guest, were they an asshole? And you know what? Sometimes. Also, he's the host of his own podcast, The Black Guy Who Tips, as well as what's the new one that rolls off the tongue? He just wrapped it up.
Drapetomaniacs, DRAPE. Put that in the search engine of anywhere you get podcasts. It'll auto-populate because we know it's hard to spell, but it's a Black history podcast that also has comedic elements and guest appearances. And I heard
Karen Morrow was on this.
She's in the title as one of the featured guests that came through for the final episode about Ida B. Wells. And if you ever wanted to hear Ida B. Wells in a rap battle, here's your turn. Okay, here's your chance because we wrote that shit.
What a booking coup. Congrats.
What does that word mean that's so worth it that it doesn't matter if people can't spell it?
Drapetomania is a term that was coined by, I believe his name was Samuel Adolphus Cartwright, who is a white psychologist or sociologist or whatever you call those people. And he said that Black slaves who wanted to be free had a mental illness, and that mental illness was called drapetomania.
Wow.
So we made a podcast about all the people who were mentally ill, apparently, and wanted to be free. And we call it Drapetomaniacs, and we tell it from their perspective.
Safe to say you're not pro this guy.
Seems like an asshole. The hardest part of the show is every episode you have to write like an intro that like reintroduces the concept of Drapetomaniacs. Right. And I want to say like 3 or 4 in, the staff was generally like, we should just stop. Just fuck him, right? Like, we don't need to say his name and all this shit every time. I was like, I'm good with it. I mean, the only thing I wanted to say was that his middle name was Adolphus, and Adolphs have bad, it's a bad track.
That's right.
That's the only thing I got for him.
The way you remember it is, we all know Drake, the Canadian, right? And now Drake is draped. And all you have to do is put drape in, and you're draped in knowledge.
Did you do good in school, Chemda, with these stupid remembrances?
Like the first week.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. But you got your new notebook. Today's going to be the day. Yeah. I'm going to fuck all the cheerleaders. I'm going to get an A. And 2 weeks in, you're like, man, life sucks.
Is this still me?
Is it voting day in South Carolina? It is in
North Carolina, and
North Carolina.
We early voted, but this is the general election day for our off-cycle election in Charlotte, Mecklenburg. Almost all the offices are all just Democrats, so we already kind of knew who was going to win after the primary. But fuck that, vote anyway. And there's a $2.5 billion bond for schools on the ballot right now, and motherfuckers don't even know. That's the biggest bond ever for schools in our state.
Whoa, that's a big deal.
Maybe you could explain to me what I'm supposed to vote for. Anyway, here in New York State, New York City, we're in. Hello, Keith. This is Rebecca from Team Caban. All right. Okay, a minority of some kind. I'm in. Today is election day. By casting your vote for your council member, Tiffany Caban, a Democrat, she will be able to keep fighting for a safe, comfortable, and dignified Queens community. I love all 3 of those words.
I like dignified, yeah.
Comfortable, yes. Safe, check.
Sure. Yeah.
Can we count on you to help re-elect Tiffany? They love doing that. Can we count on you? Does that really work with people? Like, I did. She's counting on me. I texted back, yeah, sure. Why the fuck not? This person wrote back, amazing. Thank you for letting me know. I'm always happy to meet a fellow supporter, and Tiffany literally couldn't do this without you. Make sure you let your community know today is the day to vote. And I said, let her know I said hi. You have a good day too.
And can I tell you the local stuff here? People knock on my door, and they knock on the door a lot, and they ask like, hey, can you sign this so that this person could be on the ballot? Can you sign this so that this person can run and stuff like that? And I gotta say, I always sign it. They're always so fucking sweet. They're always like, we're trying not to bother you, and they're really nice. We end up having a nice conversation about, and I don't do this. I don't go to the supermarket and have a conversation about, the weather or anything. But these people are so nice, and I feel bad that you need this kind of nonsense in order to run for something, in order to make yourself, because it's such a weird thing to do, knocking on someone's door.
I say, are they good or bad? And surprise, surprise, so far I've gotten lucky. They've all been good, and then I sign it.
I love when you meet people that still believe in like America and government, because there's so few left that like when we go to vote and there's the people in the parking lot like, hey, don't forget to vote for Stephanie Hand for such and such. And they don't know that we're like informed voters. So like we already know who we're voting for, and we know like Stephanie's one of the good ones. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna beat Tariq Bakari, baby. We getting her out of District 6. They like, oh, you fucking know stuff. It's like, yes, I give a fuck. Let's go.
Yes, you get it. There's something about like, hey, you're such a believer and you're out here and I don't think you're getting paid. You just want things to be better. I gotta acknowledge you. And you seem different than the clipboard guys, because I think the clipboard guys are collecting money. None of it is going to them as a job, and none of them is going to the cause. I do not believe in a lot of the clipboard things, although that is how I joined Planned Parenthood and started paying monthly. But anyway.
I know people, man, they trick you. They look you in the eyes like they know you. You stop for a second and they guilt you into supporting at a price you can't even afford monthly. They find a fucking way. I remember running into they always throw out some. Usually they get me if they stare me down and I think I know them. It's like they're like, I'm trying to place it. Do you like
because
animals?
You know why,
Is that
Keith?
where I know you from?
But you know why, Keith? And it's a weird thing to say, but it's the same stare that people stare at you when they listen to the show and are not sure if to say hi or not.
Right. Well, I don't know. Is it from the show? Do I really know you personally? I pause so I'm not an asshole, and then boom, you got me. One time, I was on my way to Sirius XM, and so I was like hanging around waiting for Henda because we were gonna do an interview together. And
like I'm always late. Okay, Keith, we got it.
So as I'm waiting there, a woman makes eye contact, and then I figure out what's going on. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have any money. And it's like, well, we take cards. And it's like, yeah, of course you do. I don't have that. We take Venmo through your phone. I'm like, oh, I don't have my phone. I was probably on it. And and then points to a bag of food I have and goes, oh, how did you pay for that? And I go, well, at this fucking point, I'm just an asshole. So I can't pay you anyway, because you're always going to think I'm a piece of shit every month. You're reminded of me. So let's just end this. And I can't tell you my name. When I signed for those voter things, for support, then they knock on my door a couple months later. I'm like, I didn't know this was going to come back and haunt me.
Right. Yeah. I got a text the other day that was for Karen to my phone. Like she must have gave something to my number. It's like, Karen, we need you to get out an early vote. We got to get this person a thing. And I was like, yeah, this is her husband, Rod. We already voted, so we're good. Could you like update your records? And he was like, all right, cool. I'll text you next time. I was like, no, I meant no text. Fuck.
Anyway, here's my wife's number.
Right. Exactly.
Nice try, honey.
See, that happens to me because Keith and I own a company together. So people will call me and go, we're looking for Keith Malley. And I'm like, well, I can't tell you to go fuck yourself because I can't,
Right.
I don't know if this is actually work related or you just know Keith Malley could be asked for, so it's.
And I know y'all might not have this up there, but we definitely have this in the South. And there's like school board elections are also during this round. Right. And we have 3 people that are suspected to be secret Republicans who are running as Democrats on our school board.
Interesting. Can I tell you that's so smart?
It is very smart, but it's also diabolical, and it makes me
diabolical
so mad.
things.
It makes me so mad. Like Trisha Cotham is a lady who won her seat and flipped to Republican in North Carolina, giving Republicans a veto-proof majority. And she ran, and now she's against things she ran for. Like she ran for pro-choice, she's now anti-choice. She ran for trans inclusivity, she's now anti-trans. So
how can she do that? How is that allowed?
Right? It's like no one's ever done it before. Some shit like everyone's like, oh, we should have had a rule for that. I'm like, oh yeah. They're like, hey, by the way, we make the rules now.
Holy shit, that's right.
Yeah.
But how would you? How would you if everybody grows? Let's say, how would that be a law? I mean, it should be.
Right, because you should be able to change your mind as our system, allows for. We all get to change.
I feel like as a voter, we should be able to like do a recall like they do in California or something. But yeah, we don't have any mechanics built into our constitution in North Carolina to get her out of office until it's time to vote again. So she's just there being the opposite of what everybody gave her their vote for.
Oh my God. I swear to God, I'm so nauseous from that right now.
Yeah. And the worst part is they then turn it into a feelings thing. They go, well, it's because Democrats are mean to me. It's like, no, we're mean, bitch, because you fucking lied. Like, we weren't mean to you when you were campaigning and when you were like, oh, yeah, I agree with what you guys are saying. Black Lives Matter or whatever. Fuck. That's not when we were mean. We got mean when you were like, actually, maybe Black Lives don't matter. It's like,
you know what? That's like saying your ex was an asshole. Well, it's like, oh my God, she loved me so much. And then she found out I was cheating and was such a bitch about it.
Right.
Like, she really came at me like, you're a jerk, like, oh, since when am I a jerk? You used to love sucking my dick.
You're right.
So sorry.
Now,
I guess I changed my mind too. What the fuck is changing your mind mean?
Right.
Tell me if this makes sense. In New York, we have 2 ballot proposals.
Okay.
All right. They're asking voters to consider raising the amount of debt that school districts can hold in cities with less than 125,000 people. Small cities like Albany, New Rochelle, and White Plains would be able to raise the limit from 5% to their property base to 10%, which is a statewide cap. I don't know what the fuck any of this means.
I'm not sure either. Say that again.
No.
Okay.
It sounds like they're saying the property value that the school holds, they can go into 5% of that as debt right now, and they want to raise it to 10%, which means that the schools are obviously operating already at a negative, right? Because if they're maxed out at 5% debt,
right,
and they want more, that's like, can you raise my credit card limit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why don't they just do a tax thing or something like, hey, can we get a bond for the schools? I don't.
It makes me think of America's debt. Like we're so many hundreds of trillions of dollars in debts. I don't know who we owe, but they're never getting it. So who gives a shit? At a certain point, you're not getting it back.
You owe so much, you run the shit now. Right. It's like, China, I think we kind of pay when we want, right? It's either take us over or don't get the billion. So what do you want to do?
I thought of that during COVID. They're like, okay, we're just going to send all of you $1,000. And I'm like, okay, like over the course of a year. Sure. Great. But I'm like, where are you getting that from?
Right.
Do I want to know? Because then when you needed to send us another 1,000, you got it again.
Right.
But everything is still functioning.
Here's another proposal. The second proposal we have in New York. A proposal excludes sewer projects from the cap on debt that municipalities can incur. Municipalities are currently prohibited from taking on debt of more than around 10% of debt based on their total taxable property. What the fuck do I know about sewage? The proposition would allow these towns, villages, and cities to hold debt on projects related to sewer infrastructure without it contributing to that debt cap. Other states have fun shit, abortion rates, maybe some weed talk, like you said, transgender inclusivity. Right. What the fuck is this with sewage? 5-10%. I don't know. My garbage is outside. What do you want?
Right.
It sounds like if they own property, they now could get 5% of that as a budget to continue to do their work, and they want to up it to 10. It sounds like a refinancing or taking a line of credit off your house that you own to be able to allocate it into places that moves you forward as a company.
They want to. It's kind of like when people have sex with people that they're not proud of having sex with, and they're like, that one don't count. They want to do that with the sewer money. They want to be like, no, the sewer money, that's a different budget. That no longer counts as our debt. Okay, so fuck that. We want to rack up some stuff we're proud of. We want to build like bridges and museums and shit, and we want to count that as real debt, but not these motherfuckers. Okay, we were drunk. And we don't even like them.
I think you were right that it's just asking to raise the line of credit in a way.
It just makes me wonder what the fuck is happening in y'all cities that is debt and not like raise taxes or bonds, it's like, guys, we know we ain't getting no motherfucking new tax money. That's crazy. Here's what we'll do. Move some credit around.
This is a concrete jungle where dreams are made of. So if you can just back up and respect.
My bad.
Ryan
That's how they do it in the big dogs.
10 million people, all that shit needs somewhere to go. Yes.
Well, put it in Staten Island. Next thing you know, that becomes its own skyscraper. Are they out of room there? I mean, what's the problem?
We already put too much in Staten Island.
They're also saying, like, for municipalities under a certain... So I don't think New York City is going to get whatever it is y'all are voting for. I don't think it's going to benefit you city dwellers. Sounds like Albany and these other places that have less people will get the benefit of this shit.
Yeah, but if they need it, they need it. What am I supposed to say to that? Like, if a company says, like, hey, we need a little more if you want us to keep working. I mean, since when? You ever had construction on your house? They go, we thought it would cost this much, but it's going to be a little more. And you're like, what, fuck you? Or I guess
you guys are tipping before the DoorDash gets there,
right?
Well, out of jealousy, the rest of the state shits on New York City, so fuck them. Looks like I'm not getting a sticker today. How about that? Should have been nicer. Now you gotta recycle your own sewage or something. I don't know. I got a feeling the flusher's gonna work out just fine. That's my guess. The proposition on this year's ballot isn't novel, as it has been renewed every 10 years. All right. Well, we'll see then.
Okay, I'm gonna get my sticker. I don't care. I gotta participate. I'm gonna make sure.
And I'm with you, him.
Put it in the binder.
I always say yes to this bullshit. I don't care, because the money keep costing more. Everything keeps costing more, and it's always like, well, when the fuck do I get something out of this? So if you put anything on there, it's like potholes, helping the schools. I'm like, yeah, fuck them. Give them everything. Maybe less kids will go to prison.
But I also think it's kind of like the government goes like, hey, if you say we'll do it. And I'm like, does that mean you have the money? And like, do I not get something else? But
right.
Are you going to show me the whole budget? Or I don't know.
Should have just asked. Asked. Manhattan District Attorney and Albany lawmakers joined this is unrelated to voting. And Albany lawmakers joined together to pitch a new law that will help combat rising hate crimes by expanding the definition of such offenses to include heinous acts of spray painting anti-Semitic graffiti or spewing homophobic slurs. And then you got people fighting it, going, the First Amendment. What? I can't just. This is great news. It's
how you on the other side of that one? Who are the other side people? I just need to hear their representative and what the reasoning is.
These snowflakes. I'm just saying you have dirty knees.
Slippery slope. Okay. Yeah. If I can't be anti-Semitic, next thing you know, I can't say the N-word. Now we just getting crazy in America.
The proposed Hate Crimes Modernization Act, expected to be considered by the state legislature when it reconvenes next year. Well, I mean, it's almost the end of the year. You might as well pack it up. Would add 31 new offenses to the list of those that can be charged as hate crimes in New York's penal code. Quote, anti-Asian slurs at a Chinese restaurant or homophobic slurs at a gay bar can't be charged as a hate crime, and that too must change, said some dude. The move comes in the wake of a spike in hate crimes in the state and city, including anti-Asian attacks during COVID-19 pandemic and the recent anti-Semitic assaults amid the conflict between Israel and Hamas terrorists. I saw, by the way, some people, Henda, were not pleased with, quite frankly, I didn't think yesterday you even said anything controversial, to be honest. But I see people on Reddit are upset at you. I legit think you said nothing controversial. I think people hear somebody might be on some side and they want to pretend that person is the worst of anything they saw online. And so that's where I think the attacks on you on some Reddit threads that I saw is coming from. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I think you're making a lot of sense, because I did not read that whole Reddit thing. It's too much. And okay, maybe I will, but so far,
everybody reads the right things but us. I actually listen to debates, by the way. Comedy Cellar of all places. Noam Dworman does some great serious political debates on there. Devil's advocate in a fun way that entertains me when I wash dishes. But everybody's such fucking simpletons, at least in these that I'm reading these things. Like, and there's no problem babies dying. You simpleton, stupid fuck.
Exactly. So I started reading stuff like that, and I'm like, well, then I don't think I was heard. I think this is too high an emotional level that I was yelling, which is fun. Come on.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I enjoyed it.
Can we not take that too seriously? But I know what I'm talking about. And I know that I was heated, and I know that I spewed out some stuff, but I said babies get killed in war. That was my point. My point is, and since when is my point, let's go to war. And since when is my point that like one side or the other has every right to do anything they want in war? I said, I generally say I don't understand war. I am now going to war, and then we start shooting in a direction. I don't really get it. But what I know is this has been an ongoing war before a lot of the things that are mentioned as they try to protect one side or the other. So that's mostly what I'm talking about, is people's timeline and their definitions of things is off. That's all. Without taking a side, when you just say free Palestine, I am not sure that you know what they need to be freed from. Oh, wait, like in this particular scenario, and I am not saying that I am ignorant to, yes, they do need to be freed from some of the stuff that Israel is doing, but there's other things involved, I think.
Yeah, perhaps. And I saw somebody say, I really kind of scared about the anti-Israeli protest in New York City. It's fucking scary. Pick up a paper on last week on Keith and the Girl with Rod. I just told a story where our friend Craig Klein has a friend who lives in Germany, where it's illegal to be publicly anti-Semitic. The friend's kids were beat up in school. The parents' house was vandalized. You know why? Because there was a mezuzah on their door, the Jewish hello greeting out front, the little prayer scroll. In Germany, where you can't do that shit. Yes, right. It is a little scary and not crazy for her to be scared. We have to make new hate crime laws for this shit. Yeah, it's okay that kind of a little scared, you simpleton, stupid fuck.
It's not just that. It's not that I'm just scared, like shit is just going to happen to me. It's coming for you also. I am different, and maybe that I'll be first with this particular group. I'll go before you, but they're coming for you also. Read what they wrote, and this is Hamas before Palestine and Israel and whatever. When I get heated, I'm getting heated about a terrorist organization that is very clear about their message. The killing babies thing somehow to me is separate when I yell the word Hamas. Like, I can't believe I am saying this into the world, and the world is going, you're a Zionist bitch. Hamas.
Yeah, I think
please just look up Hamas, please.
I think observing so much of this stuff, like, because I didn't grow up with this, you know, like I told y'all a long time ago, down south, it's just white people and then black, you know, like you know, like we haven't even gotten to the specific whites down here.
There's
like,
no gray area.
Yeah, it's just like you're not black, are you? It's like, no, all right, come on in, you good, you know. But and not that they're even like cool with it. It's just as long as you don't identify as anything else. Like if you walk in and go, I'm white, but I'm also kind of Jewish, they're like, get the fuck out. That's one of you're black now. But the thing for me is like I've been watching the online discourse, and it's just I feel like everyone's seeing the fucked up shit of the worst of the other side. I feel like our algorithms are doing that so much. So like people are super passionate, and it's also people are sharing the worst things. So it's like, oh, if I saw Black Lives Matter Chicago had the day of the October 7th, the day of the terrorist attack, they had a flyer that had the paraglider on it and being like, well, yeah, we're like about Palestine over here. It's like, well, what the fuck was that? They ended up taking it down, but I've seen it recirculated, screenshots, people. And if you see that and you're Jewish, how do you go, well, I'm sure they don't really mean it. No, it's like, what the fuck are y'all saying? This is like someone putting up a plane going to a building on 9/11. Like, it's all about, it's all about the terrorists over here with us. So I think like people see that. And then obviously on the other side, people are like literally showing like they bombed the hospital. That's the that is all that is happening over there. Is that this guy lost his family, and so every side is reacting to that. And I don't think there's like I prefer to listen to podcasts about it. Ezra Klein's doing a good series on it. I listen to some stuff Ta-Nehisi Coates had to say. Like, I'm just finding thoughtful, educated people and listening to them not yell, not get trolled, not
don't listen to me. Honestly, don't listen to me. This isn't what I think about all day. When I talk about what I think about all day, you all say how smart I am and blah, 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 because that's what I think about. I am not thinking about this all day. Listen to people who think about this all day. And in an intellectual way, that means that they're picking up information, not just spewing it. And that means that you hear the consideration of the other side, and you hear the history beyond the 1900s, before that.
Yeah. Well, we're so siloed off, though. I like people are calling Amy Schumer a Zionist. I'm not arguing whether she is or not.
Oh my God, she half said something. Jesus Christ.
But I see what she reacted to. And that's the part that people aren't acknowledging. It's like they're acting like she just woke up, and like Amy Schumer was like this every day, all the time. She saw some shit I saw some dead babies, and this is my yelling at the world. And then people go, "Oh, you bitch. I can't believe you're yelling at the world." And I think, that's what everyone's concentrating on. I think that's what online discourse does, is it flattens everything to good, bad, black, white.
Especially when it's think of the kids is always something that it irritates me. Think of the kids is so very inappropriate in all the ways that it's usually used. It feels like, it could be wrong, but think of the children is so odd in this scenario, because I don't know why, because doesn't that make sense?
Why are we acting like we love kids? A. B, when it comes to Amy Schumer, she didn't acknowledge that she deliberately called her podcast Three Girls, One Keith. So maybe this is Al Capone and tax evasion. All right.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you.
What it is.
The other thing too is like with the kids thing, like, because I was listening, like I said, I'm listening to thoughtful people that I'm like, you usually know all the shit. Ta-Nehisi Coates just came back from Palestine. He's been talking about all this stuff. My favorite thing he said was how he can identify with Jewish people too as a black person in America, because we've had the shit end of stuff, and it's probably for the best that we never had power in that way. You know what I mean? Because like some of us would have been like, we riding on white people today, But it's what I thought was interesting was I didn't hear anyone ask him about October 7th. And I don't mean like, can you disavow Hamas, but what do you do? Like, what is the thing to do? I know, like, I agree. Maybe it's not whatever this looks like, this, not this. Like, it shouldn't be this bad or whatever. But then what? Nothing? Your kids don't count? These family members who are hostages, right. You just chalk it up to the game. Like, I don't understand how you think as a human being, anyone would ever feel that way about their people, period.
Compare these countries to any other countries and war. There might be a little difference. Look yourself in the mirror.
And
also.
I think the thing I want to say though is I think not asking doesn't benefit the discussion. Ask him. He might say, I don't have an answer. He might say, I don't know. You know what I mean? That's possible.
Why are we expecting anybody to know? It's so insane. What do I do for a living that I would know how to retaliate from Hamas on a civilian building? How the fuck would I know how to respond to that? You know how I respond to that? I title one of my episodes Kosher Babies, because I would rather say the funnier thing than the more accurate thing, because that's what I think about, and that doesn't mean that I don't think about my family in Israel, and I don't think about the Palestinians who are suffering, and I don't think about the history and blah, blah, blah. But can I tell you what to do next?
Yeah.
When will you ever take my advice on what the fuck to do next when somebody bombs a building?
They're debating if they should strap their shit on like Rambo in these other countries in America. I'm listening to, a Comedy Cellar podcast, two educated people, meaning they devoted their lives to studying Palestine. They dedicated their lives, the other one, to Israel. And they both have opposite points, but they studied their shit. They can't figure it out. But on Reddit, Ballbag69 did, and we're idiots. Penda didn't say anything yesterday, quite frankly. I love the passion, but there was nothing controversial, you fucking moron. And yeah, I'll tell you the saddest fucking thing. If this war does end, which of course it never will, idiots. It would be a sad thing if Henda's parents went, and this is our 4th floor, and this is our bomb shelter. But honestly, we barely even use it.
I also thought it was ironic. I thought it was ironic that the person's username was Atomic.
Atomic Wings, the one that called in, right?
Atomic Wings. I was like, that speaking of genocides and things that kill babies.
By the way, you would think that room is so cool because it's kind of like padded and quiet, whatever. No fucking internet gets in there.
Oh, nothing gets in there.
That's
rocket's not internet.
That's the real problem. It's like, listen, if we had internet in the bomb shelters, we can figure this 2-state thing out. But with no Wi-Fi, fuck y'all.
It really puts us out. It is like nobody listens. You know, on the same scale as this, I saw something on Reddit. Holy shit, Keith, you made it seem like the entire Spider-Verse was just a regular movie. It was the greatest Spider-Man story ever told. Is anybody even listening?
Yeah, that one I saw and I downvoted that because that's terrible. Okay,
this is insane.
That's horrible.
He said
it was great. He said it was the greatest.
How about the one that goes, wait, Emmy died? And I'm like, what episode are we on?
Yeah, well, I gotta catch up. Y'all put out a lot of work. Listen, contrary to popular belief, y'all put out a lot of shows. Okay, and sometimes people get behind, and it's news to them that people are dead. So they got to go somewhere to talk about it.
It was the greatest Spider-Man story ever told. I just watched it on a whim. I don't want to say this person's name and embarrass him. And was so surprised as to just how great it was. I don't remember if it won an Academy Award. Well, you have a computer. It should have won all the awards. Love your show. Can't wait to see the next one. Would love to see it with you. Seeing that you're down a friend. Well, catch up. Me and Craig are best pals. Somebody else said, hey, I was just happy that Keith liked it at all. You never know with Keith. And yeah, I agree with you. It's maybe the best movie of the year. I wrote, are you guys fucking insane? I said they both were perfect, these Spider-Verse movies. I said
isolate the clip. Y'all go find the clip and then screen cap it and post it online if you can find a clip where he said it wasn't the greatest movie of all time.
Get the wax out of your ears. You're making points about Hamas, Israel, and the Spider-Verse.
I was more upset by the Spider-Verse stuff, honestly.
Thank you. Yeah. The world is so fucking nuts, and everybody is so heated in general that one of the number one games on VR and PC and everything is a game called Power Wash. And you go into a town and there's like a car, a silo, a tractor, and they're all dirty. And you take your gun, in this case, a power washer, and clean it. And everybody's loving it because it's relaxing.
Xbox Game Pass, Game of the Year last year. Oh, the hours I spent in that motherfucker, listening to Keith and the girl in my headphones and power washing the shit out of that town full of all they dirty stuff. I watched Vans. I watched the Mars Rover. Like, I fucking got that shit spick and span. And I'm not even going to tell you about the twist with the conspiracies by the end. Okay, this town had let's just say the dirt was hiding a lot of stuff in that town. Okay, it got a little crazy.
Okay, now I understand scratch offs.
Honestly, I was playing it and going like, this is so insane that if you asked me to go power wash something right now in real life, I'd be like, are you out of your fucking mind? What? Do manual labor for who and for what? But I'm in my house as recreation, just being like, I think I missed a spot. I'm going to get this whole backyard clean. We're going to get these kids playing again.
I hope your place is clean and Karen's not watching you.
It'll never be. It'll never be as clean as that town was when I got done with it. I'm gonna tell you right. If you're looking for that level of clean, don't even come up with my crib because I had that motherfucker shining, dog. Okay, I use and it's like you can use like a soap. They got a soap dispenser one where you can loosen up the grit. They got extensions that you can afford after you do a few jobs. So you can like really get up to those high places. I was climbing on top of churches. Okay. I cleaned statues. I was getting down to the motherfucking nitty gritty.
I picture somebody in VR spray painting this, cleaning up this town, but they're kicking in their house. They're kicking over chicken wings and aluminum cans and newspaper clippings.
They're like dirty in their underwear, just like got time to power wash.
That was a good night. And they took their clothes off the bed back on the floor. Good night.
Listen, nothing's better than getting an achievement pop up on your Xbox from power washing some shit. Oh, so good.
someone is not changing their kid's diaper, but they got that achievement, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be starting fights. I know it is. Captain Swiggy is into it. Power Wash Simulator is great. Carrie is into it. I wash a big ass house shaped like a shoe.
Yes. I'm near the end, and honestly,
There's
I've
an
been
end.
Yeah, I've been at the end for so long because I don't want to be done. I don't want to be done. I clean a little bit of that big ass church every day. Like I'll take a little bit off the statue, come back, finish it off tomorrow. That's my life right now, and I'm so happy with that. It's so much better than being on the internet trying to figure out who's right about what the fuck and why everybody yelling at everybody. Fuck that. Power wash.
Listen, honey, we're late. Let me just get this window.
Yeah.
You're gonna wash the windows, honey? Finally. No,
not the real windows. Calm down, okay?
How about that? You know what? When when I wash a window in the computer game, it doesn't go, well, let me guess, you want an achievement.
Right. Yeah. Somebody buy people real power washers for Christmas and see how much those things get sent back.
I have an idea. Oh boy. All right. Clearly, everyone loves achievement points. Let's make achievement coins to give to our partners.
When they do something. Yeah.
You did the dishes.
Come on.
Did the dishes 10 times in a row. Rare achievement.
But you don't get one after sex. You ever complete a mission? You're like, this is an achievement? Fuck
dog, I hate that.
Yeah.
I've been playing Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation. And like sometimes I'll do some shit where it's like, you can get all these boxes or some shit. And I go get all the boxes and I'm like, wait, that was it? Where's my dopamine hit, bitch? This was hours long in the making. You put the boxes in the game, not me.
You gave me an achievement because I knew how to look up, down, left, and right, but I don't get an achievement for beating the Green Goblin. Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here, dog. That is the worst.
Yeah, it does cause problems. Yeah, the whole world's a mess. Everybody's tired. Everybody's frustrated. Kenda went to the dentist 8 a.m. It was like, oh, I'm surprised you guys are open. And what did the dentist say to you, Kenda?
Well, this wasn't the dentist. It was the assistant. I'm like, I'm amazed you people are here on a weekend at 8 a.m. And she goes, oh, me too. Man, do I not want to be here. And I was like,
yes.
I'm already so nervous at the dentist. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'm like, oh, wow. And I couldn't. I was like, but she's not touching my face until she gets to a better place. And so I just talked to her for a little bit until she was actually grateful to have a job audibly. Yeah. I was like, we're ready. Give me
and they had to do OMAT in the dentist office so that her teeth got fixed properly.
Yeah, I do that shit all the time. You got to do that sometimes. People talk to me all the time and I don't want to talk to them. But I'm like, you got a job to do. And part of this is I want to get you to a place where you want to do the fucking job. And I'll let them do their thing.
Anytime I see a doctor or nurse, I bring Vivarin with me. I bring a 5-hour energy shot. They're always
I bring a Nintendo Switch. I'm like, you want to do some power washing while I wait for the doctor? I want to keep all my teeth.
I just feel like this place that I go to is so modern. Like I might be their oldest person there, and I just go for the nitrous. They just, they got to understand that they all do at this point. And the surgeon comes in and I'm like, we all understand no one's touching me before the nitrous, right? And she goes, please, I have nitrous in the dentist also. And I'm like, really? Right. And she goes,
I'm not even getting teeth done.
Right. I'm on nitrous right now, bitch. You're next.
I'm like, whatever calms you down. I get it, girl.
She starts giggling for no reason.
Right.
Well, she keeps going. She's like, I get it for a cleaning. She's like, I think they should administer nitrous everywhere in more places. She goes, on an airplane, why do I need to be there? Nitrous. She goes, when I'm in my gynecologist, she's taking out my IUD. She tells me to breathe. I'm like, breathe what? Give me the nitrous. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm picturing Steve Martin from Little Shop of Horrors at this point. Just everyone's on nitrous.
Right. Yeah.
In the dentist's office.
You'll be a dad.
I mean, you don't want like, in the Continental or Blue Velvet, but you do want something.
Well, at some point, before they started going, I'm like, could this nitrous be higher? And she goes, it absolutely can.
Like, you got it, sister.
What? They got you got some bonus nitrous?
Wow.
Well, I figured, I'm like, wait, I'm still like understanding exactly where I am, and that's not right. I'm supposed to be like, playing at a concert, playing a guitar, like
you're like, take me out of here.
Oh, yeah, I'm like a rock star. And so
I want to wonder if I have to tip you.
You want to see a line item for extra nitrous when you get the bill? Like, okay, they hooked your girl up.
The yesterday's show, people liked it. People were it was polarizing a little bit. Speaking of science, by the way, Chuck Nice, new guest to Keith and the Girl, says how science keeps changing. How did I fail it? How about we wait and see?
Right. He was so upset at his old science teachers. So upset.
You know who's got to be mad? Fucking Galileo. Because he was like, yeah, the sun, we rotate around that shit. It don't rotate around us. And it was like, kill this motherfucker at the stake.
And then he's in prison. He's like, actually, I'm not sure. I didn't really think it through.
You might want to recant that. Yeah, now that I know y'all this serious, I think the sun does rotate around the earth. Can I go home, please?
He's like, whatever it does, can I see it?
Right. Can you imagine they put him in jail for that though? Like, we let Kyrie Irving think the earth is flat. He plays in the NBA and he's anti-Jewish. And we just let him, he's just out here living his life.
Pumpkin Road, LOL that you were fighting with somebody in the chat the whole show, and an hour and 5 minutes in, Chuck realizes that it's live.
That was my favorite part.
I don't know that is that true?
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah,
really?
That's true. Yeah.
We said
he's like, when does this go out? And you were like,
at the very end.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. But and of course Rod knows this, but before we go live, I go, okay, I'm pressing the button in 3, 2, and then Keith coughs for some reason, and then I press the button.
It's being professional. It's called throat clearing, by the way. Bucho said this episode should be in the dictionary under I can't wait for next week's last week on Keith and the Girl.
It's a Karen episode.
Becca in Baltimore. In my opinion, this is one of the best episodes of Keith and the Girl to date. And yes, I've listened to them all, even the VIP shows. Bravo. Eye-opening / funny, alarming, and true. But to be fair, their avatar is the Jewish star. So
I like that you highlighted it.
Yeah, I don't want to forget to bring it up.
And if we want to be completely right about our words, it's the Star of David, right? Because other people use that symbol too.
That's true.
Okay,
the Nazis?
I'm done. I'm
like
good. No,
in reverse or what?
No, like Rastafarians use it. No,
those weirdos are like, it's a peace symbol. Okay.
That's why I got it tattooed on me in jail.
Right. Well, what if somebody looks at it in a mirror? Okay.
Coincidentally, I don't like black people, but okay, it's a peace symbol.
Glitter Neuroses is saying Chuck was a great guest. Please have him back, maybe with Neil. Oh, we should ask them to bring. Why didn't we think of that?
We're getting into last week territory, but also he felt like he could do a really good Neil deGrasse Tyson impression. Like his voice and everything felt like if you close your eyes a little, it feels like you're listening to Neil deGrasse sometimes, but he's way funny. No offense, Neil, but he's way funnier.
Right.
And I bet he has a dope impression of him.
Do you remember
we will answer that on last week because I do have an answer.
We put the poll up some time ago where Craig was saying he was excited about the James Webb Telescope and other people were pretending they gave a fuck also. This was how long ago was this? This was in
totally can't tell how Keith feels about this though. Never leaving the witness.
The 7th month of 2022, if anybody has a calculator. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope was the poll. Your choices were exciting stuff or who gives a shit. 85.71% of the audience said exciting stuff. I'm not hearing people talking about it too much in 2023, the 11th month. I'm just saying.
Bring it up in front of you.
It's not blogging up our forums.
I saw a couple things about it. But here's the thing that NASA and all these people got going for them now, right?
Yes.
I thought the moon landing, I was like, oh, it could be fake. I don't know. Who knows, right? Now I know it's real because they had months to fake something. Anything happening.
Right.
Just like if you were making bullshit up, this was prime time with all the technology and all the AI and shit. This is the prime time to be like, oh, fucking alien. This was it. And you didn't do shit for okay, so you guys are on the up and up. I trust you now.
if they tried to raise their debt from 5% to 10%, I don't know. I don't know, quite frankly. Even for those new pens that are also double as a stylus, and you ask for an extra one because it seems cool, but you're never going to use it with anything. Even with those,
you're gonna have to keep your sewer as a line item. I'm sorry.
But by the way, I saw an interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think it was on Joe Rogan. Neil and he was asking him about the faking of the moon landing, and Neil said, "We're on first name basis." Neil said that it would be easier to go to the moon than to fake it. It would be the work that goes behind making that happen. It would be much easier
to match up the sound with video, and then you see shadows. That is a to do. He's not
to kill everybody who knows.
Yeah, I was gonna say somebody's snitching. That's the problem with every conspiracy. Is like, it'll be. I've met humans. Nothing's a secret.
And now that we have the internet and people can't shut the fuck up.
Right.
Say Hemda loves babies dying. Like somebody would.
They be going Instagram live from inside the fake studio. Like, it's your boy Rod. I'm up in NASA, dog. We about to do this motherfucking fake moon landing. Hashtag faked it.
Hard clock sign, smiley face for no reason.
Right.
That was the Black Mirror, the one where the guy had to fuck a pig and somebody gave it away by taking a picture in the simulated at a room.
Somebody gonna snitch.
Yesterday's poll was, what's more fun, space or the ocean? Good job. Everybody's honest in this one. 64%. No, the ocean's more fun. And that's how you judge things.
Yeah.
That's how you know the income of our audience. Some people, it's just like a little bit easier to go into water.
Space is so fucking terrifying. Oh my God. Fuck it. And every movie about space is not as terrifying as space is. Every movie nerfs space. It's always like, oh, you can kind of hear their lasers. You actually can't. You actually. It's like, oh, he managed to survive outside the spaceship for a few seconds and then he got back in and he lived. No, you can't. There's 0 degrees out that bitch. There's no heat. You'd just be dead. Fuck that place.
It's funny asking Chuck, does Neil deGrasse Tyson, does he ruin regular shit? Like, just boring everyday shit, having to add science to it. And Chuck was like, no, he's normal. I'm like a lightsaber, for example, can't really exist. Oh, yeah, he does that.
Absolutely. he does that with everything, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure.
Here's what you wanted.
You spilled the salt and how you supposed to superstitiously throw it over your shoulder.
Yeah.
He got something for that.
Right. He gets into a push and pull door. It's like, can we just leave the place? You want to download these podcasts, The Black Guy Who Tips. You and Karen do a great job. I enjoy it very much.
Thank you.
Karen, sometimes she can get heated, whether it's about human rights or it's about Beyonce tickets. She'll go off all kinds of bitches. It's very enjoyable. Enjoyable.
She's so funny and she's such a personality. And I still, no matter how many shows we do together, I feel like I'm still learning shit about her every episode. I'm like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Okay, that's a twist. We love to see it. And
let me write this down because we got to talk later.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, all right. So what happened in 3rd grade? Right.
You're how old?
Yeah, right. And check out the latest Drapetomaniacs because she's in it. And she has a big role, and we stayed up late recording it. And I did the audio engineering and she's reading lines. I'm like, all right, try it this way. And so it was such a team effort.
Wow.
And I hope you all listen to it and enjoy it.
And they're not getting divorced like that. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm very patient and Karen's very apologetic. So it's like both of us are doing too much, She's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, that's just making everything take longer.
I've said before, I go, you guys are too much. And they go, literally. We really,
everything.
Rod, thank you so much for your time. It's great seeing you. You're fantastic, of course, on the VIP show, keithandthegirl.com/VIP. Use the code free if you want to if you're new to it and want to check it out. But he does great with last week on Keith and the Girl. And of course, we'll talk about him on that show.
Oh, yeah. Was I an asshole? We'll find out Monday. Tune in, everybody. Shout out to Atomic Wings. All right.
That's it.
Okay. So I just want to quickly
stick around for a minute if you got a second.
Look in the chat and there was a thing that was very important. Pizza.
All the food.
Said, babies die every day, but you look great though, Chemda. So I think we're good.
What was that again?
All right.
What was that?
Sure, I'll repeat that. Yeah.
She's gonna get the glasses again each time.
Babies die every day, but you look great though, Chemda.
Okay.
All right. Wow.
Okay.
That's an interesting compliment, but take what we can get.
Lots to unpack.
Yes. You might want to look into Zoloft, buddy, but all good. All good.
All right, you guys click